Hello everyone, welcome to the Year 2 Conference Tournament. Last season we had a great regular season, similar to this year, but came up short this time of year. So coach is trying to correct those wrongs and make it to the NCAA tournament. But before we get into the Patriot League tournament, we finished the year with a win. So the alumni are going to give us a facilities upgrade. With that, we're going to continue to upgrade our practice gym, work on our shooting and shot making ability. Hopefully that just gives us a little more push as we make our run into March. So looking at how the standings shook out, Lafayette is the team to beat in the Patriot League, going 11-3, while us and Navy both end up 10-4. Colgate, a bit of a long shot, but possible at 8-6, and the rest of the league is definitely going to have to take a miracle to make a run into the tournament. And the Patriot League Player of the Year does end up being Theo Watkins. 28 points, 12 rebounds, 2.5 blocks. Disappointing Cedric Teal couldn't get it, but hard to argue with those numbers. Bryce Clay on Lafayette, also somebody we might run into. But Teal does make first team all-conference, and Banks makes second team all-conference. And most importantly, Coach Runt is the Coach of the Year in the Patriot League. So despite finishing third, Coach and the team getting a lot of national respect. Theo Watkins ends up as the Defensive Player of the Year, but Derek Dickerson beats out a couple of his teammates for Freshman of the Year. The midseason breakout for Derek Dickerson just beats out John Anthony in his success as our sixth man. Looking at our stats, Teal almost 20 a game, Banks almost 17. The rest of the starters playing well, although Damon Angelo with only 5.7. Teal leading us in rebounds and blocks. And we are actually listed as a bubble team. We are literally the last team on the bubble. It's citing our loss against Lehigh as a tough loss, but probably still going to have to win the tournament to make it to March Madness. And that's going to start against Bucknell. As you can see, Navy on our side of the bracket wouldn't face off against a Lafayette or Colgate until the championship. But Bucknell is no joke, made the championship last year and didn't have a great record, but solid ratings. So we'll see if we need to jump in on this one. Looks like we're getting off to a really good start, up big early and really controlling throughout. Cedric Teal with 24 points and Dickerson with 14 points, 20 rebounds. That's going to lead us to facing off against Navy. Lafayette and Colgate, as expected, facing off on the other side. But this is it. We are very familiar with Navy. They're very highly rated. And in this exact scenario last year, we lost to them. Split two very competitive games with them this year, and this is the ultimate rubber match. This rivalry has been intense over the last year, and you can see it with the crowd traveling to Lafayette, who is the 1 seed and hosts the tournament. These teams don't like each other, these fans don't like each other, and they are standing directly in each other's paths to March Madness. If you missed it, we want to make threes and force turnovers. They want to spread out the attack, but here we go. We lose the opening tip-off, and here we go. They are off, getting the ball inside, and it is physical right away, but unfortunately give up a rebound to the best player in the league, and he puts it back up and in. Coach is fired up early in this one as Plummer is finding his way, looking for the first bucket of the game, and he'll hit it. We are the higher seeded team with the same record and a split regular season, so I'm not sure how that was determined as Watkins hits another shot. And we're off to a slow start offensively in this one, but some good physical defense there. They end up with the ball, and a cutting Moorhead gets 2 more points, 8-2. And with the lights feeling a little too bright once again, coach is going to call a timeout, get our star freshman 6-man John Anthony in the game, try to get some scoring. Brett Plummer can't get his to go, but Teal there for the offensive rebound, and we are back on the board again. Good timeout for Coach Runt as we are now up 9-8, and Teal getting double teamed throws the lob to his teammate Parnell, who puts it in. Was a 9-0 run for us, but Theo Watkins can just get whatever he wants as he nails a contested shot. But as they're getting into their press, Tyson Navarre recognizes they're slow getting back, and a huge dunk by Parnell. Once again, Player of the Year for the conference is just getting what he wants. You can see how he averages 30 a game as we have a weird reverse pick and roll here with Dickerson and Navarre. He finds Anthony, who's going to knock down the early 3. Pretty much have come to expect this from John Anthony, to just come off the bench and give us some life as he hits a floater right in Watkins' face right there. What a pickup in recruiting for Coach Runt, as Watkins is just unstoppable right now. But we see their lob play and raise them our own as Dickerson gets it right back. 18-22, coming down to the end of the half here as Anthony from deep knocks it down, and we're up 7. The offense has been a little inconsistent as we're running low on the shot clock. We're just swinging around, can't find a shot and get a shot clock violation. Offense has been good, but a little clunky at times in this one. A good time for our upperclassmen to step up, and Banks is going to do just that as he gets to a spot in the mid-range and knocks it down. Banks and Plummer have been lethal this year getting to their spot in the mid-range, as we're throwing another lob right on Theo Watkins' head. What a play from Derek Dickerson. End of the half now, 22-31, as Teal cannot get that fadeaway to go. They're going to have an opportunity to get one more shot, and it is a deep 3 that is not going to go in. So we're going to go into the half up 9. Both teams struggling shooting. They have not made a 3 yet, but we have 5 blocks and 7 steals, so doing a decent job with our goals. Looking to continue to play good defense in the second half, only allowing 22 in the first half. And we're doing a good job getting pressure, getting hands on the ball, and forcing them into tough shots, getting a block here from Dickerson. And here they just throw us the ball on the inbound play, so didn't even have to do anything there. Angelo likes this look in transition, but he can't get it. Teal is there though to clean it up, and we're up by 13. Another minute later, Teal going to work in the post, couple pump fakes, and he gets one to go. Great shot. And then another transition opportunity here, and John Anthony is always going to be confident in that look. Theo Watkins, the only reason Navy even has a chance to come back in this game. But our offense has come alive now, and John Anthony does not want to give him any hope whatsoever. Fast forward about 4 minutes here, we are still up by 15, so feeling pretty good about this one at this point. They get it inside in a big dunk, so some possible momentum there. And they jump into the press right away, but we're cutting through it, advancing the ball as Teal is going to find Dickerson. He gets it right back. Every time in this second half they've gotten some momentum, we've responded well, but our offense having some trouble here, and we call a timeout. Watkins trying to get his team fired up. He's about the only one showing up at this point. But once again, almost instantly out of the timeout, John Anthony going to pull up with a guy in his face and knock it down. And that would pretty much do it, as the game will end with them throwing the ball to their clearly out of bounds teammate, and we get our revenge against our Patriot League rival in convincing fashion. And you know, with our history with this team, we're going to be excited. We're going to be high-fiving right in their guy's face, and we are going to be celebrating. But we also know the job is not quite finished yet. We still got to win one more game, otherwise we're going to end up looking like this. So Coach Runt's going to give them a few moments to celebrate, and then it's going to be right back to work to get ready for the winner of Colgate versus Lafayette. Quick look at the stats. What a game for John Anthony. 20 points, 7 for 13, 6 for 10 from 3. And Theo Watkins let down by his teammate. He's the only one to even crack double digits. But with that, our final game to make March Madness will be against Lafayette, as they end up beating Colgate. They're rated pretty well, a lot higher than we are. They are led by Bryce Clay, who has the highest rating in the conference, came in 3rd in Player of the Year. Couple other power forwards off the bench, but not too high of rating besides that. Shooting guard number 21, Grant Robertson, is also a really good three-point shooter, so we'll have to look out for that. But here we are, the Patriot League Tournament Championship, playing in Lafayette Stadium, but still a pretty good crowd for the Holy Cross faithful. And the energy is through the roof here. We got another face-off against 2 top players. Both teams love to play an up-tempo pace, so it could get pretty chaotic pretty quickly here. And we are off to decide who will represent the Patriot League in the NCAA tournament. And after a quick miss by us, Lafayette controlling the ball and controlling the boards early, as something we've struggled with often in this series, allowing offensive rebounds, shows up right away. Gonna have to avoid another slow start in this one, and we're doing it through our defense first, getting a good turnover, and then running the fast break. Banks pulls up and knocks down the 3. We're already doing a great job of causing chaos defensively, as Angelo gets his hand on a ball and ends up getting rewarded with a layup. Offense has been a lot more easy to come by for both teams early in this one, as Teal getting double teamed. He finds Angelo, who's getting off to a good start. Good to see that with some of his struggles this season, as Teal once again getting double teamed, finds an open man, and we are up 14-8. Teal doing a great job of finding guys off of doubles, but Lafayette struggling with the defensive pressure we're putting on them, as we get 2 blocks, but Bryce Clay is doing his thing, and we are back to being tied up. Now the shooting guard Robertson looking to continue the run, and he does, getting an and one on Cedric Teal, who picks up his second foul. Not something you like to see, but we're doing a good job of facing off of their press. 9-0 run for them, but Anthony gets an open look. That's going to be a 2. Here, Navarre off of a deflection. Should be an easy layup, but he misses it. And way to play it cool, man. Defense continuing to play physical here, but they are going to end up getting the ball. Good opportunity for them, and they get another and one. And take a look at this celebration. What is going on? They're going cheek to cheek. Tough to compete with that kind of team chemistry, but Navarre looking to get his mojo back and finishes over 2 bigs. Impressive for the undersized point guard, as John Anthony always looking to get his shot off, and it's a quick trigger, knocks it down, back down to a 1-point game, as John Anthony with a good opportunity here, but just can't finish what should have been an easy layup. Struggling with those today. Despite that, they're still worried about the 3, which allows him to find Dickerson for an open mid-range. And then another minute later gets a split second of an opening, and that's enough to put up 3 more. That kid could be a major factor in coach's decision for what to do this offseason, as we're struggling with their press and we're going to have to burn a timeout. After we turn the ball over, Bryce Clay is getting excited. But after regrouping, Cedric Teal has a good drive and ends up tying it back up with 2 minutes left in the half. Soon after, followed up by a turnover, which is going to turn into a free run for their big man, and he puts on a show. Shot clock turned off now, but Banks gets his hand on it, and now Plummer with an open lane goes right by him, and he gets him right back. This team knows how to respond to a punch, as Lafayette misses the shot, and we are going to go into halftime with a 2-point lead. We are getting outshot and out-rebounded, but they haven't made a 3 yet, and we have a lot of forced turnovers, which have turned into some good fast break opportunities. Lafayette did not have a single foul in that first half, but that's going to change early in the second half as Teal is going to get right to the line. It was only a 2-point halftime lead, but we are 18-2 when up at the half. But Robertson looking to change that as he nails a contested 3. We're going to continue to run the offense through Cedric Teal, and he's going to continue to get to the line. Bryce Clay worrying about foul trouble at this point. And despite being on the road in a tough environment, Teal doing a good job making free throws. Tough shot there, but old habits die hard as we give up more offensive rebounds, and they're back up by 4. But Teal's new habit of getting to the free throw line every possession is going to continue here. And Lafayette is going to have to go back to bringing double teams, which is going to leave open shooters, and John Anthony is not the guy you want to leave open. Doing an excellent job of getting transition opportunities, and it's going to continue to lead to Teal distributing well. A little less post play, more slashing, getting fouls, and dishing it off for Teal, and Bryce Clay stretching it out. That's going to be tough to guard if he's making shots like that, but if he's in foul trouble, we won't have to worry about it. And bonk. Look at that. Insult to injury. It goes right off his head on the rebound. Get him a concussion test. Teal once again getting inside and finding a shooter. This time it's Damon Angelo. And we can start to feel some momentum. Can't get too carried away though, as we're going up 10, but still a lot of time left. Angelo waltzes out of bounds in front of Coach Runt, but we get away with it. And Teal still distributing, finding John Anthony in the corner, and we're up 11. Pick and roll here. And Teal wants to isolate from the wing, but maybe getting a little too confident as he gives up a turnover. And Lafayette coming on the break, and they're going to make it back to a 7-point game. Questionable to continue double teaming as it leaves us open for John Anthony to continue to hit shots like these. Although the consolation prize is maybe he's a little too confident, but that's what we love about him, so we want him to keep shooting. Great hop step there, but now Teal going to get a post touch and just go right up with it. Cedric Teal getting just about everything to work for him right now, but now he's just going to get dunked on to humble him. Lafayette back within 6, but this is a bad sign as Bryce Clay picks up his 4th foul. He doesn't like it, but he's going to have to come out at a critical point in the game. We'll see how long he stays out, but wisely Teal just going to attack the new guy and get one to go. Lafayette point guard with the ball now, and maybe a little bit of a desperation shot, but he gets it to go, and we're back to a 5-point game, and make it a 3-point game with a free throw on the way. Cedric Teal now with 3 fouls as well, and we're calling a timeout. Arguably the biggest timeout of Coach Runt's young career, and I can't imagine what he's saying to his team in the huddle here. Derek Dickerson hitting a nice little slide out of the timeout, and Coach Runt out of the timeout, seeing what he's got drawn up. Plummer gets to the middle and finds a cutting Teal, who gets it to go back up 4, and John Anthony isolating, gets to the mid-range, and he can shoot from there too. Really big possession for Lafayette here, and they are going to get it to their shooting guard Robertson, and we knew about his shooting, but this is just ridiculous. John Anthony was all over him, and he is just unfazed and gets it back to a one-possession game. And now back on offense, what a spin move by number 30, and it's a 1-point game. And now with a fast break opportunity, we are really starting to unravel as Cedric Teal picks up his 4th, and we're going the other direction. But we do get a stop, and running the break, we get it out to Anthony with all the confidence in the world, going to pull it back, the Jamal Banks special, and we're back up 4. And they need another bucket here, and they go to their shooter, Robertson, who knocks down another one himself, chirping at someone on our team on the way back. Plummer is going to turn the ball over. They have an open fast break. Robertson is going to find Clay, and they take the lead with under a minute to go. Both teams will then miss solid looks, and we're going to get the ball back. And Teal once again with the ball, looking to make something happen, getting double team, finds Dickerson, and bam! With the season on the line, this kid goes up over 2 big men and throws it down on both of them. But we got to play defense here. 1-point game. And they're trying to force it inside, and we get a turnover. And that is going to be foul number 5 for their star, Bryce Clay. And now with the season on the line, Brett Plummer is going to knock down both free throws to make it a 3-point game. They're running the offense, get it to their big man who's going to shoot the 3. And we couldn't get our freshman, he was in for defense, couldn't get him out in time, couldn't get the timeout off in time, and we are going to pay for it as he misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Still with the defensive lineup in, they're looking to get a quick 3 and back to the same shot as before, and they can't get it to go. Cedric Teal with the board, he's going to get fouled, and he's just been living at the free throw line, shooting well tonight. And on the biggest one of the night, he gives Lafayette one more chance. They went to their big man a couple times, but we'll see what they draw up. 5 seconds left, need a 3, and they go to the same exact play and just miss. And Coach Runt and the Holy Cross Crusaders have made their first NCAA tournament in the Coach Runt era. And they are celebrating like crazy. Well earned. What a game. You can see the emotion on the Lafayette players. But what amazing performances from Cedric Teal, John Anthony, Dickerson with the dunk to seal it at the end. So many performances, and they will ultimately accumulate in an NCAA tournament berth. Teal with 24, 5 and 8, 2 blocks. Anthony with 22 off the bench. Plummer putting up 12. Great shooting by Anthony, just an amazing game all around. Teal also fouled out Bryce Clay. Now, having punched our ticket, we get to see where we end up in the tournament. The 1 seeds are Kentucky, Kansas, Michigan State, and Texas. Minnesota, who we beat, ends up as a 6 seed. We end up facing 29-2 Butler as the 11 seed. Could have ran into Minnesota again, but instead we are facing off against a very talented Butler team who ran through the Horizon League and is chocked with high 80s starters. Hard to even know who the star is, as they have talent everywhere, a good point guard, a good front court, even a 6-man who in the 80s. It is definitely going to be an upset if we can pull it off. But hey, that's why we love college basketball, and we are going to take every opportunity we can to see if we can make a Cinderella run in Coach Runt's first year in the tournament. Thank you again so much for watching this video if you made it this far. I'm very excited for the next video. It will probably be another 2 weeks before that one is out. By the time this video comes out, I will be on my honeymoon. But we will see if things start to settle down for me and I can get back to a more consistent schedule. But yeah, with that and graduation, you can see why it's been a little inconsistent. But we will see you next time.